Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
What's going on, everybody? It's that time of the week. It's Friday. You know what that means. Time for your favorite podcast, the SHW podcast. This is our wrestling B-double Brandon Benefield alongside the great Gerard Bonner and the lovely Diana Michelle. Oh, we are just a couple of weeks from SHW45. I can't wait. It'll be here before you know it. But in the meantime, how you guys been doing? How's the week going?
It's getting better and better. It's Friday.
Yes.
Got a good weekend ahead. I mean, no complaints. The week has been productive for me, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. It's been a solid week. We've accomplished quite a bit this week. And now we're back for the SHW podcast. Always a highlight of the week whenever I get to hang with my family. I love you guys.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing. So far, we know about 4 big old matches. I know there will be some more that are announced over the coming couple of weeks. But let's kind of touch on a little bit what we have so far. Now, you saw the original poster come out, and of course, last week. By the way, if you missed last week's show with Cyrus, that was a fun one. So go back and
watch it.
Because we got to see a side of Cyrus. Like, we never get to talk to him like a normal person. You know, he's usually in our face screaming and like a giant,
he's still
big
scary.
monster.
Yes, he is.
Even on Zoom, even far away.
Yes.
But as I said, we're all miles away from him.
But it was a fun episode to kind of learn a little more about him. But my point was, during that episode, we did touch on a couple of the matches that we saw on the initial poster for SHW45. We have heard of a couple more this week, but let's talk about those first two first.
Yeah.
We have a 30-minute Iron Man match between Chip Day and Kyle Matthews, former tag team partners, now at each other's throats. Who is the best technical wrestler in the state of Georgia, or even one of the best in the country, I would say. But
both are pretty much the best in the country, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who's better than the other? I don't know, and I'm not even sure we'll actually find out at SHW45.
You know, I mentioned this to GB on commentary during the anniversary show, is that normally a 2 out of 3 falls match is a kind of match that kind of settles a big feud. And so I was shocked at the end when Todd Sexton comes out and announces that we're going to, and of course the match ended in controversy. We can all agree there.
It did.
I think even Kyle would agree. I don't think Kyle realized it at the time when he got the 3 count, but I think he realized it after the fact. And he would be one to tell you, he's a man of honor. I think he'd be one to tell you that, you know what, let's do it again. And I did not anticipate an Iron Man match happening the very next month. So here we go, a month later, 30-minute Iron Man match, GB.
You know, one of the things that happens in a space like SHW is when you get those 30-minute Iron Man matches, you kind of prepare for 30 minutes and then it feels like 3, right? Because it's just so fantastic. And with these two guys, I can't call it. I really can't call it. But we are guaranteed one thing, that this match will go at least 30 minutes. And I say at least because if they go 30 minutes and, it's a draw, I don't know if there's going to be sudden death or not. We don't know. So, this is a big one. This is a big one. And the timing of this, for it to be in November, almost at the end of the year, when we start thinking about end of the year awards and all of those kinds of things, considering what they're fighting for, I think the winner of this has to be considered the leading contender for technical wrestler of the year when we start talking about that in January.
Absolutely they do. And then on top of that, not only are we going to kind of settle who the better man is, who the better wrestler is, but we have the added stipulation that the winner will become the #1 contender for the SHW championship.
That's something special.
It is very special. And if you think about it, one of the things that Chip Day initially said once he decided to part ways with Kyle Matthews is that he wanted a shot at the SHW championship. If my memory serves me correctly, he's only been around it one time. And that was December 2020, if my dates are correct, when we had the 6-man scramble for the SHW championship. He was one of those 6 men.
In fact, I believe he was the one that David Ali pinned to win the title.
He was. Now, obviously, that was a different Chip Day. A lot of things have changed since then, and it was 6 men involved in that match instead of a one-on-one situation. So I think for Chip Day, the idea that going 30 minutes and getting the most falls against your heated rival can produce being the number 1 contender is a lot of motivation for him. On the same end, I think it's just as much motivation for Kyle Matthews as well, who, is in that 20th year of his career, wants to really accomplish things. And I think in his own words, he thinks he has more days behind him than in front of him. So this is kind of a must win for both of these guys. It's going to be special. It's going to be special.
Yeah, I cannot wait. And the thing is, any other time at any other promotion, this is your main event without a doubt. Without a doubt. However, at SHW, where we are full of main events at almost every show, the main event was announced that it will be for the SHW championship, where Cruel, the Heathen, our champion, the leader of Dishonor, will be taking on the Bloodbath Behemoth, the strong style psycho, that being Tank. And I don't know, to be honest with you, I'm not sure about the history. If there's a match that if they faced each other before, I'm not quite sure. I know they for sure have not faced each other in an SHW ring other than in the War Chamber, but that was a group, 5-on-5 match. So we're in for another special match, in my opinion. The thing is, we all know Tank and the deathmatch legend that he is. Cruel, over the last year, maybe 2 years, has really delved into the deathmatch side of his persona. When he was his former self, I don't recall him being as engulfed in all these deathmatch matches that we've been seeing at all these other promotions. But as soon as he put that mask on, like, that's all I'm seeing now. He's always bloody and battered and coming out on top in whatever death match he's in. So you got to think now, as far as we know, and all we saw was the graphic that everybody else saw on social media. There's no stipulation as far as this being a death match or no holds barred or no DQ or anything like that. I'm not saying that won't happen. I'm just saying we don't know yet, but I can't imagine those two in the ring together and there not being some blood, there not being some, some weapons. And so
for sure.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but
Is it a title match? Did we say it was?
It is. It's for the title, but I don't know if there's any other stipulations being put on it. Because think about this: if you're Brooklyn, why would you book your champion Cruel against one of the most well-known deathmatch legends? That just seems like it's asking for trouble if you're the booker. But I don't know.
Unless the stipulations are to be announced, like mid-match or right at the end of the match, and then it's no disqualification and all of Dishonor comes out, and
that's the thing, there's no telling. There's no telling with Dishonor, there's no telling with Brooklyn, there's no telling with Cruel. I don't know what to make of it.
Well, there's a couple of things that are running through my brain. One of them is remembering at the War Chamber how, Cruel and Tank were the last men for their teams, but it took a while before Tank ever got in the ring because Cruel bloodied him up, battered him up, beat him up outside. There was a lot of stuff going on between those two in this War Chamber, which is why I think the match may have gotten booked. Now, in thinking of strategies, yes, I think obviously Brooklyn has something up her sleeve, but I actually just thought about why it may be a smart move for Brooklyn to keep this as a regular match, because Tank doesn't really know how to wrestle regular matches. He's gonna pull out his sickle. He's gonna pull out something crazy, some skewers or something, which would get him disqualified. And if it gets him disqualified, Cruel keeps the title. So there could be a strategy to just keep this as a normal match, which would really put more handcuffs around Tank than it would Cruel. So we'll see.
We will see.
We will see. Now, history has taught us that you can expect the unexpected from Brooklyn.
Exactly.
Literally from both. You're right.
Yeah.
Literally, which is what makes this match so crazy. And I mean, it's happening on Halloween week. So it's just like, I think the gore will move right into the top of November. And I think, I don't know, but I'd understand if they kept it as a normal match, but I think there's no way this encounter between the two of them just randomly ends with a pinfall or even a disqualification. I think it's going to get serious in the action building. So I would say definitely show up, but as one social media maven once said, hide your kids, hide your wife.
Oh goodness, because they could go out into the front row. They could be getting after everybody up in here.
We've seen what can happen in these scenarios. So yeah.
Oh man,
what running shoes on just to move out of the way quick and fast.
Yeah, and here's the thing to think about too is now that we're back to where Cruel is defending the championship, because I feel like it's been quite a while since we've had a title defense at SHW, but it's pretty much anybody that goes against him, unless they're also a member of Dishonor, but anybody else that goes against him, it's kind of like they're fighting for SHW, not only for themselves, but fighting to get that power, a little bit of power back, because whoever's holding that title belt's going to have you would think, a little bit of power. So I just never would have expected Tank to be fighting for SH. And I don't know if you asked Tank if he would even say he would be fighting for SHW, but in our minds, in the fans' minds, I feel like it's, whoever's going against Dishonor, we're hoping they can pull it off.
Well, Cyrus may have kind of told us the mentality of some of the folks last week, where Cyrus is like, I'm fighting for me.
Yeah.
And so I've got to think that Tank somehow got drafted into the whole war chamber because he was looking out for his former foe, now friend Gunnar Miller. Now that it seems like all of that is off the table, and I can't forget again how we went off the air with Faye screaming, "You let Gary down, get out of here." I think it almost feels like everybody's kind of on their own right now. I think, and we talked about this on commentary, that, the War Chamber was going to be a real test of leadership, the leadership of Brooklyn versus the leadership of Gary. And I know this might not be popular to some, but the idea that Brooklyn's crew was so united and the fractures that happened in terms of deciding how, because Gary obviously didn't think, like, if it came down to Brooklyn sacrificing me, what do you do? He didn't prepare them for that. Yeah. And so, and I think he's just I think this whole thing has really rattled him, and it's tested him in ways he didn't expect to be tested. So now I don't know that a Tank would be fighting for the honor of Gary or SHW. He may just be fighting because they really got into it during the War Chamber, and they've got their own beef at this point.
It could be that. It could also be, think about this. Tank is retired how many times at this point?
Right.
And how awesome would it be to be coming out of retirement for however many times it's been?
Right.
And to get the title for the promotion, one of the top promotions in the country.
Right.
That would be huge.
Right. How many people can come out of retirement many times as he has and still kill it?
This is true.
Literally.
Yeah. Literally. I'm actually very nervous for this match. I'm very, very nervous.
Like we said, anything can happen. You just never
probably will.
And you mentioned it, anything can happen, like with Brooklyn or with Dishonor, but that's kind of been a mantra at SHW since the very first show.
That's true.
Anything can happen. Anybody could show up. So you just
or fake show up and they don't even know that they're supposed to show up. And
we don't talk about Bruno.
But you just never know. And that's just another reason right there to come out to a show. So be sure to join us November 4th. That's the first Friday of November. And it's going to be awesome. Tickets will go on sale at the door starting at 5 o'clock. Doors open at 7. Bell time at 8. But let's move on down the card a little bit. We found out a couple more matches earlier this week.
Yeah.
And speaking of title matches, let's talk about the tag team titles. Interesting match we have here.
Yeah.
So the co-winners of the DDP Diamond Cup Invitational at our anniversary show. I never would have expected wanting to see these two as a tag team, but the way that Diamond Cup Invitational ended in a tag team match, thanks to the legend Teddy Long, we got to see Jordan Kingsley teaming with Adam Jacobs in an impromptu tag match, and I thought, what a great tag team!
Yeah,
that I never would have expected tagging together.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about how Jordan he's trying to get back on that run, and he needs that. There's something that's just he needs that little push.
Yeah.
Why not team with a veteran like Adam Jacobs? Why not? I mean, that's awesome, you know, and get that momentum going back and just something to feel like you can build on and support. I feel like you can get that from Adam. And I mean, I don't know how well they are as far as a tag team. They did pretty well that night in the Diamond Cup, but I'm for it. I want to see what they can do against the Happy Madness.
Well, so that was what I was getting to. They're actually getting a title shot here for the SHW tag titles against Sunny Days and Sal Renaro, aka Happy Madness.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we I think we internally wondered, you know, after you win the Diamond Cup, which that was a big situation, what would happen? And so I think this is a big win for them. You win the Diamond Cup. Now you get a tag team title shot. Really, if you think about it, for Adam Jacobs and for Jordan Kingsley, this is a big opportunity. Adam Jacobs, coming off the heels of a 5-year absence in the sport, has decided he really wants to apply his craft here in SHW. And we've seen some outstanding showings from him. And so now to be in a tag team match, he is a legendary tag team champion throughout his career. So this is a win. And then you think about Jordan Kingsley, who, of course, for the bulk of his time, at least the early years of SHW, was involved in a great tag team, a tag team that made it to the finals of the inaugural SHW tag team title tournament. And they were just a stone's throw away from winning that. And that would be the closest that Jordan Kingsley would get to tag team gold until now. So, you know, we think about what this year has looked like for Jordan Kingsley. Diana, you were talking about all of the things that he has done. And if you start talking about a most improved wrestler, certainly in SHW for 2022, it's Jordan Kingsley. I think, you know, he's had the complete opposite of a year that he had in 2021. He's been winning back to back. He's been doing a lot of things. I think this would be a great opportunity for him to cap off an amazing 2022 with tag team gold.
Oh, yeah.
Now, all they have to do is beat Happy Madness. And now Happy Madness, they've been a team for a while. And now they've got this dark side and they've been kind of all over the place. Part of me wonders if them winning the SHW tag titles was just a thing to do, or are they really interested in dominating the SHW tag team division? We're going to find that out, because this could be a very, very quick reign if Adam Jacobs and Jordan Kingsley are able to actually get it together and gel and put this thing together. I think we could see an upset.
Well, here's the thing. Right now, we don't really have a tag team division. We just have champions, right? The other one was fired. Am I missing another tag team? Please help me.
Well, Tech X
Drawing
broke
a
up.
blank.
Tech, yeah, well.
We don't have a division, so we gotta have. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm just gonna say this. I wouldn't mind seeing Exotic Youth come in.
Whoa.
Wait a second.
Whoa.
Everybody, stop the presses. Hang on a second.
Whoa.
Wait.
What just happened?
Hang on a second.
Happened?
I mean, you can't deny they are pretty good as a tag team and as a stable.
Wow.
They get on my very last nerve.
Something
and it shakes
tells
me
me
to my
this
core
clip
to say
right
that.
here.
Yeah, they're going to use it. I already know, but it's
This
fine.
clip.
But I mean, honestly, that would be fun to watch. Either them get smashed by Happy Madness or upset the apple cart for Dishonor. I know. I mean, what do I do? I mean, it's not that I'm falling in love or anything like that one, because I'm not. Trust me. It
GB,
hurt me to say that, but I don't know another tag team that could probably that can contend. I mean,
GB,
honestly, I
GB,
can't say it.
you like to say the phrase about the bingo card.
Yeah,
I did not have
didn't see that one.
that on the bingo card
Look, I didn't
all.
even plan that. That just kind of came out, and God bless. Maybe it's because I just read Bryce's post on his little deal there that happened up north. But
wow.
What other tag team?
I'm shocked. GB.
I don't even know what to say.
I'm trying to redeem myself here, but what other tag team comes to mind?
It's gone. It's gone. Now, here's what I will say, though. Here's what I will say. When we go back to the formation of Tech X, they were the tag team we didn't know we needed. And when they came together, they became tag team champions, took the division on, and all of a sudden we saw an influx of tag teams. The same thing could happen with Jordan Kingsley and Adam Jacobs.
That's right. Yes.
You know, and so I think that's one thing that SHW has done for us. Think about Bruno, the tag team that we didn't expect to see happen. They've told me I can't say that. So I'm saying Bruno. They sing a lot. They have choirs.
Yeah.
Initially, when the two of them got together, we didn't see that coming. You know, one of them was just a brutal guy. The other one just had great campaigns, you know. But the two of them came together in SHW, and they took the state and the country by storm.
And still are outside.
And still are. So I know we don't talk about Bruno around here, but I just want to say that these kinds of things from people you don't imagine seeing coming together can actually form great tag teams. Now, with that said, I'd like to see that happen with Jordan Kingsley and Adam Jacobs. I think Jordan Kingsley is way overdue for an opportunity to be a tag team champion. His last partner, they couldn't get along. They couldn't get things to work. This could be something that could really, really work. Adam Jacobs deserves the opportunity. He looks great. He's got the experience. He is a tag team specialist. This could be very special. And I want to talk about Bruno. Carry on.
I am glad you at least explained who Bruno was, because I didn't know that's what we're calling him now, and I was totally lost when you first were saying it. And I'm like, I don't understand.
Everybody would get it at some point.
Not this guy.
Because
I'm a little slow.
I'm not going to be accused of saying the names of people who were released. You know, I don't want to be on that list. What, you know, I'm just saying, you do know what happened though, which no, let me not tell that, because then people are going to start meeting us places. I don't want to say that. I will just say that I happen to like my hash browns, smothered and covered. And
smothered, covered.
Scattered, smothered, and covered. I like mine.
Don't like onions, so
I like mine covered and chunked, because I like the cheese and the chunks of ham. I don't like the onions.
What's the one with the mushrooms?
That's a little extra.
No, I don't like onions in mine. Yeah,
I don't either. But I don't know about the mushrooms.
All right, I have to. Yeah,
I can call a guy. I know.
I was gonna say we know a guy.
That
knows the whole thing. Anyway, Bruno apparently. I'm still. We'll talk about this after the show, because I'm confused. I was so confused.
I'm sure he's off of his honeymoon by now.
Well, yeah, he was pretty angry the last time I heard anything from him. So I don't know, but
I don't either. Anyways, we're doing our usual left turn here, but that's all right. I'm gonna
follow us. They rock with us. Yeah,
I'm steer back this way. So tag team title match. The other thing I wanted to bring up about that, just like I said with the with Cruel and the SHW title. Think about this. Dishonor has all the gold right now. So if there's anybody, whether they're fighting for SHW or just fighting for themselves, if they can get the titles off of Happy Madness, that's a win for SHW any way you look at it.
It is. It is. And
there's got to be holes somewhere in the Dishonor armor. Somewhere. It's somewhere.
And who can find them?
Hey, at War Chamber, it did not seem like there were any holes from what I could tell. We thought going into it, after we talked to Carly on this podcast, before the last show. We thought going into it there was going to be some, a little bit some holes.
Maybe
like you
if
said,
somebody would have kept driving that one home, it would have. But we kind of backed off. Nobody.
Well, see, we weren't the ones coaching the people going into the war chamber. So, the whole idea now, this is probably where whomever the powers that be are, you've got to study all the material that's out there. And I think if they had studied this podcast, they would have seen a potential chink in the armor. But,
Well, what do we know? We're just the announce team.
We just
we watch it from all angles. That's what
By
we
the
know.
way, I just got that from my mother, because growing up, my mom would always give the right advice and then we wouldn't listen. She goes, what do I know? I'm just the mother.
Yeah.
So,
well,
anyway.
Diana,
Mama
knows best.
You probably experienced that, Diana.
Yeah, I tell them, don't be an asshole. Don't ask me and not take my advice. If you don't want me to give you my advice, don't ask for it. So don't be an asshole.
Listen, gotcha. Diana's been winning on this episode. You hear me? She's been winning.
Oh, yeah.
Winning.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I've been acknowledging Diana.
Yes. Put your ones up, folks. Oh, yes. Oh,
well, let's move on here. So I briefly mentioned Carly Bravo. As you know, we had him on the podcast a few episodes ago before the War Chamber match.
Yeah.
Well, after the War Chamber and after what went down, Dishonor, of course, coming out victorious, the attack on Gary outside of the ring, Gunnar Miller released a video afterwards back in the locker room saying that, vowing that he was never going to let this happen again, and saying that he was going to go after every member of Dishonor until he could get back to Cruel and the SHW title. Well, he's going to start at SHW45 in a singles match against Mr. Bad News and Tattoos, Carly Bravo. Now, talk about a match that I never in my mind thought about until I saw it on the graphic, and I went, what a match this is going to be. I don't care if you hate either one of them or if you love either one of them, whether you're a Dishonor fan or you're strictly an SHW fan, this is a match I want to see anywhere, anytime. So, I know that Gunnar has the thought of, I'm trying to take out Dishonor one at a time here. To me, I'm just excited to see this singles matchup here.
Sure.
I'd like to see, if he's going to do it in matches one-on-one with every member, I'd like to see all of that. That him against all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, one at a time would be great. But this one with Carly and the momentum that he has behind him and the high he's on at the moment, I believe he just picked up another gold or some gold across the way. And we love him, no matter if he's straying a little bit to the left or right or whatever side you want to call it. But this will be an awesome match. Gunner's the people's captain. We got Carly, Bad News and Tattoos, hoorah. Let's do it. This is a win all the way around, regardless.
So, Diana, can I ask you a question?
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Do not be scared. It's not a trick question. It was just a few months ago on this very podcast that you sat in that beautiful seat, and we were having a conversation about one Gunnar Miller. And you said that Gunnar Miller's issue is he's not focused. Whenever it comes to the SHW title, he gets close and then something comes to distract him. First it was Corey Hollis, then it's Tank. Are we seeing yet another distraction for Gunnar Miller with Dishonor?
Well, I don't think that his focus right now is the title, because I think he was screwed out of that. Okay, so now he's going to have to backtrack and get his vengeance out, if you will, go through every member of Dishonor to get back to where he's going to get that title shot, if they even give it to him. Who knows?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe he's now more focused than we've ever seen on eliminating Dishonor.
But not necessarily the title right now. That would be great. Maybe if he did have the title, I don't see Dishonor being dismembered because he's got the title, or if he gets the title. I think he's doing what he has to do and has to go through each member to just break them down, find that kink in the armor. That's what he's focused.
Okay.
I think he's in the right track where he needs to be. I do believe that. We'll see after he faces Carly. See how focused he is.
We will.
Because there's going to be distractions. There are.
There are, and there's a part of me that's wondering. Obviously, if you're trying to find where the weak link is in Dishonor, where do you go? Now, I would say Carly Bravo is probably not the place to go if you're looking for a weak link. And I say that because the man was entrusted to start the War Chamber. He lasted throughout the entirety of the War Chamber, which showed endurance, which showed fortitude. It just showed all of the things you want in somebody who is top tier in this business. He's hotter than he's ever been. He keeps getting hotter. And I think we may be seeing a different Gunnar Miller than we've ever seen before, because we've not seen a point where Gunnar seemingly failed the company.
Right.
That's a whole new place. So I'm curious to see how folks will respond to him on November the 4th. Obviously he and Gary are very close, so obviously the people that are close to Gary hold him, or at least held him, in high regard. Will they still be angry on November the 4th? Will they still credit Gunnar for SHW losing the War Chamber? I mean, there's a lot of ifs at this point. And will Gunnar even come in with the kind of confidence needed to beat a Carly Bravo? That's the question. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
In that video after War Chamber, it was like he was making promises because he felt beat down. He felt like he let everybody down, and he was fighting back up to get his confidence back up. Now, what he's not going to need to do is come into this Carly Bravo match feeling like he's got to fight up, because you're fighting up on a Carly Bravo, you're going to get beat back down. You're going to have to stand up. You're going to have to get your confidence, walk eye to eye, be a man, do your thing, and just come at it like he can do it. He can do it. But he's got to have the confidence that he can do that without having to feel like he's got to make it up to us. I don't want you to make it up to me, Gunnar. I just want you to go and handle business. That's it.
Yeah, because you can't redo the War Chamber.
No.
So there is no making up for the War Chamber.
Right.
You can't. You really have to decide, okay, clean slate.
Where do you go from here?
Exactly. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting.
All I know is that's only 4 matches on. I'm sure we're going to have several more announced in the last couple of weeks, but that's only 4 on this card here for SHW45. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but our general manager actually posted on social media saying he thinks this card might be stacking up at this point almost better than our anniversary show. And our anniversary thing. Yeah, our anniversary show was massive.
We can't go backwards. We got to keep getting better, regardless of anniversary. It's supposed to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, did GB freeze?
I noticed I can hear him. I still hear him, but he's frozen.
You can't see me?
I see you, but you're frozen.
That is,
there you are. There you are.
Oh, you're frozen again?
Okay. We could still hear you though. It was very.
So I can hear you,
but
you're so frozen.
You did this number.
Odd.
You went, huh? And then
that's
you just
crazy,
froze, but you kept
because
talking.
on my end it still looks normal. So
it's fine. Luckily, we're wrapping this one up. But anyways,
yeah.
Sometimes, hey, it's Zoom, folks. It's you remember the pandemic era, it's what happens.
Technology.
We're miles away from each other. I'm sorry, guys, we can't get together like that. But
at least
one day,
GB's got a great smile. So when it freezes on
look
his smile,
at that one. Yeah, that was a good little break there.
It's good. Anyways, join us November 4th for SHW45. It's going to be awesome. I know it's a couple weeks away. Next week, rumor has it we might have a special guest joining us. So we will see you next week around the same time here for next week's episode. But until then, this has been
SHW.
Oh,
wait.
GB, you're still frozen. We can still hear you though. What's up? Are you there?
Hello?
Oh, did we totally lose him?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, guys. Well, as you can tell, technology is not our friend right now. We lost GB, but he will be back with us next week, so don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
But I noticed, he was trying to say something there, Diane, at the end.
Yeah.
He just texted it to me. He doesn't want to forget. There is a sale going on at prowrestlingtees.com. So if you go to prowrestlingtees.com/SHW pod, you can get our shirts for sale. If you go there, it's tomorrow, or no, it's today, Friday through Monday, the 21st through the 24th. Use the promo code Thank You, and it's their fall customer appreciation sale. So be sure to grab an SHW podcast t-shirt while you're there. But that's going to wrap us up for this week. And again, GB will be back with us next week. Rumor has it we may have another special guest as well. So until then, this has been
SHW.
This is our wrestling.
Yeah.
I never get to say that part. It's
I
crazy.
know. It's so cool.
See you next week.